The Lexicon Odyssey, mastering 30 words a day. Once upon a time, in the bustling metropolis of Viridia, where skyscrapers pierced the cerulean sky like audacious sentinels, lived a young scribe named Ellara. She was an aspiring novelist, her quill forever hovering over parchment, but plagued by a paucity of words. Her prose, though heartfelt, languished in mediocrity, devoid of the vivacious flair that could captivate readers. Ellara yearned to embellish her lexicon, to wield language like a maestro conducts a symphony. Little did she know, a serendipitous encounter would unveil a perspicuous trick to assimilate 30 new words daily, transforming her from a novice wordsmith to a veritable polymath. It began on a balmy afternoon as Ellara ambled through the labyrinthine streets of Viridia's Grand Library, a venerable edifice brimming with tomes that whispered secrets of antiquity. Overwhelmed by the cornucopia of volumes, she sought solace in the alcove of etymology. There, amidst dusty folios, she unearthed a forgotten manuscript, the daily Lexicon Codex. Its preface proclaimed a deceptively simple stratagem, the root-weave method. This technique, born from the perspicacity of ancient philologists, harnessed the power of word roots, prefixes, and suffixes to unlock clusters of vocabulary in mere minutes. No rote memorization, no tedious flashcards, just a quotidian ritual that burgeoned one's verbal arsenal with effervescent ease. Ellara's epiphany was instantaneous. She resolved to embark on this odyssey forthwith. Each dawn, as the first rays gilded the horizon, she would allocate a scant 10 minutes to her ablutions of the mind. The method unfolded thus. First, select a seminal root, say, odd, evoking, hear, from Latin origins. From this nexus, branches proliferated. Audience, those who hear. Audacious, as in boldly daring, as if shouting to be heard. Auditory, pertaining to hearing, and inaudible, too faint to perceive. In a cascade of cognates, 10 words unfurled like petals in a zephyr. She inscribed them in a bespoke journal, not as isolated orphans, but woven into limpid sentences. The audacious explorer's auditory senses detected the inaudible rustle of hidden treasure. Undeterred by initial trepidation, Ellara escalated. The second root, bene, signifying good or well. Here bloomed beneficent, benefactor, benign, and benediction. She murmured them like incantations, envisioning a beneficent benefactor bestowing a benign benediction upon weary travelers. By midday, her mind effloresced with facility. These neologisms no longer felt extraneous, but intrinsic, like threads in a resplendent tapestry. As days morphed into weeks, Ellara's alacrity astonished her peers. The third tranche drew from chron, the Greek harbinger of time. Chronicle, a factual record of events. Synchronize, to align in time. Anachronism, a chronological misfit. And chronometer, a precise timekeeper. She chronicled her progress, synchronizing her writing sessions to harness this temporal bounty. No longer did her narratives suffer from desultory pacing. They pulsed with chronological precision, eschewing anachronistic blunders. Word of Ellara's metamorphosis spread like wildfire through Viridia's literati circles. Skeptics, once derisive, now clamored for her elixir. How does one sustain such alacrity? They queried. Ellara, ever the pedagogue, elucidated the method's quintessence: immersion sans coercion. After gleaning 10 words per root, 3 roots yielding 30 daily, she immersed them in vivacious vignettes. Short, whimsical tales no longer than a paragraph. For mal, the root of bad, malignant, virulently harmful, malady, a disease or ailment, malicious, spitefully cruel, and malfunction, a faulty operation. Her vignette? A malignant malady malfunctioned the kingdom's clocks, unleashing malicious mischief until a benevolent chronometer restored order. This narrative alchemy was the linchpin. By contextualizing lexicon in stories, retention burgeoned exponentially. Ellara advised aspirants, eschew passive perusal. Instead, fabricate fables where words cavort, delineate dialogues infused with ebullient tirades or laconic retorts. Within a fortnight, her own novel, a sprawling epic of Viridia's lore, teemed with erstwhile strangers, ubiquitous shadows, ephemeral glories, and paradoxical enigmas. Yet, the Odyssey was not devoid of vicissitudes. Midway, lassitude threatened to vitiate her zeal. Words like obfuscate, to deliberately confuse, and pernicious, insidiously harmful, seemed to obfuscate her focus, their pernicious subtlety eluding grasp. Ellara countered with a corollary, the echo chamber, revisiting prior days' harvest in conversation. She discoursed with librarians, infusing chats with sagacious insights or quintessential anecdotes. This auditory reinforcement transmogrified fragility into fortitude. By month's end, Ellara's transformation was ineluctable. Her manuscript, once pallid, now scintillated with sophistication. Publishers, erstwhile indifferent, proffered contracts, hailing her prose as a cornucopia of eloquence. She had not merely accrued 900 words, 30 daily times 30 days, she had inculcated a perennial penchant for lexical expansion. The root-weave method, she avowed, was egalitarian, suited to students cramming for erudite exams, expatriates navigating lingual frontiers, or professionals burnishing their oratory. And so, dear wanderer of words, heed Ellara's legacy. Commence tomorrow. Procure a compendium of roots, abundant online, gratis. Dedicate your matunal moments to this ritual. Unearth graph for writing, autograph, biography, holograph. Weave them into whimsy. Within weeks, your vernacular will burgeon, your communications effloresce, your intellect ascend to apotheosis. In Viridia's twilight glow, Ellara penned her coda. Vocabulary is no static vault, but a verdant garden. Nurture it daily, and it yields a harvest of inexhaustible bounty. Thus ends our tale, but your Odyssey, it beckons eternally.